Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. I'm your host, Venerati. And guys, I just got back from MLG, and I decided that I want to cast. And so here we go for today. We're going to have Torch spawning as the blue Terran, going up against LiquidTLO as the red Zerg. And we are on Lost Temple. But real quick, while the guys start to warm up and start really to get everything going, I want to do a... actually got knocked out of the tournament by Torch. So, you know, I figure if you're going to lose, you might as well lose to someone who's pretty cool and pretty awesome. And this guy definitely fits the bill. He's not only is he really cool, but he's also a really nice guy. And it was fun going up against him and losing to Banshees on Blistering Sands. So Desert Oasis, there we go. Either way, what we're going to see here, these two matches that are going to be going in between LiquidTLO and Torch were highly rated. I was there. I got to saw them. They're pretty awesome because you get to see some pretty wanky stuff, and it's nice to see new stuff, especially when you're going up in these tournaments. A lot of times you get just really bread and butter, and well, depends on what part of the tournament you're in. You get a lot of just a lot of pros stomping a lot of regular Joes. And I was definitely one of the regular Joes in this, but don't get me wrong, MLG was a blast. Met a lot of really cool people, and it was pretty awesome. But back to the game. What we have Torch doing right here is he will be walling off. This is highly advisable, seeing as he is going up against a Zerg player and a very rough and tumble Zerg player at that. So of course he's going to be kicking out that Marine. Hopefully it'll get there in time to ward off this drone so that LiquidTLO will not know what's going on inside of Torch's base. Now LiquidTLO chose to get the fast expansion right there and does have the spawning pool down already, so he is definitely setting himself up for a good bit of macro. Now right here we have TLO's drone trying to get inside the base but was completely denied by the Marine. The Marine, not liking that, comes out there swinging against this Overlord. This Overlord will be able to get up on the high ground right here. This is a great vantage point to keep your Overlords at because it's a pain to get to them unless you have Vikings or you scan. You can scan right here, but you're going to have a lot of Marines because you're going to pretty much have to one-shot it. Even though these Overlords are so slow, they're still fast enough to get scoot out of the way. But right now, we do have Torch finishing off the wall, not wanting there to be any sort of like speedling run by. Of course, the supply depots are not going to be keeping out any sort of any sort of Baneling bust, but for right now, it would be sufficient to keep any sort of speedling drive by, and then running into the mineral line and pillaging henceforth. So we have a factory going down for Torch. So he's doing a 1-1. Is he going to get a starport? The setup right here, how close they are, and we have this nice little valley water area to run across, is very much beneficial for air units. And yes, we do actually see a starport coming down for him. So Torch looking to take advantage, either bringing in some medevacs or some Banshees. But we do have a Overlord coming around for LiquidTLO. Torch does have the Marine right here to stop that. He's built a little picket line to keep any sort of probing Overlords at bay. This early on, you're really not going to want to lose these Overlords because you are going to be supply locked. Right there we saw LiquidTLO at 28 of 28 there. Not a place you want to be, but he already had the Overlord on the way, so not a big deal. It's just that any sort of choke in your supply building right here is really going to have a snowball effect later on in the game. It's going to push your tech tree back farther and farther. So we do have the roaches at the door, able to run by the supply depot before it was put back up. We do have Torch microing his units, trying to take on these roaches. We have one roach trying to skitter around the side. It is so slow, though. I do not believe it's going to get to the mineral line in time. It does look like it will actually make it, maybe a pot shot or two off. Not sure why it didn't attack right there. TLO trying to run it off into the corner. Not really going to be able to do anything with that, as we do see the glaive arm just kind of fly up in the air. So Torch able to keep his mineral line safe here, even though that was kind of a fumble to let the roaches in with the supply depot right there. We did have the Overlord coming out for another peek, coming off of its high perch right there. It does look like it's going to be coming behind here, going to be able to spy the armory, and Not sure if we're going to see a drop by Torch or what's going to be going on from Torch. So Torch right now is supply locked. Does have the supply depot almost finished up here. We do actually see Torch bringing the Thor over here with the medevac, but there are a lot of units waiting for its dispatch, and that Queen is not happy about that, so she's going to be pinging on that medevac. Torch thinking twice about it, but the Queen was still there to see that. Great placement of the Overlord, allowing LiquidTLO to respond to that quickly, not allowing the Thor to get any pot shots off on the drones, as those drones would have definitely died to Thor's hammer. So Torch repaired the medevac. Looks like he's going to be ready to go back out there. We do see Torch bringing out a Viking, so he is going to be hunting down that Overlord. He's coming over here to try to hunt that guy down, as you do not want to allow your enemy free reign as far as vision of the battlefield. You want to try to strip that out. LiquidTLO is bringing out the Overlord, trying to take a gander at the base. Meanwhile, we have Torch's Thor on the medevac over here on the high, coming to drop on the high ground. It will have range. There are spine crawlers here and an Overlord, so they will have vision, but the Thor will be more than enough to take on this spine crawler. The Thor blasting away at it. TLO picking it up, but not picking it up in time. Javelin missiles throwing at the Overlord, trying to make something happen here. As TLO was able to bring up these roaches, trying to bring up the Overlord. It's a really hard balance, but Torch, not liking the situation, picks up the Thor. We do see TLO bringing the spine crawler up here, trying to protect this section of that high ground, as he would be able to lock down these 4 to 5 mineral clusters right here. So LiquidTLO was able to make Torch pull back, as he didn't really want to lose that Thor. That drone will be able to see that the fact that, well, no, never mind. That drone running for its life, Torch trying to catch it, and Torch just kind of coming around here, making sure no one's on the Xel'Naga watchtower. So right now we have Torch coming out here with an SCV, and probably going to be building command center, as he does not have quite enough minerals. Maybe, yes, he does build them. Meanwhile, what is that? We have a Nidus network coming down for LiquidTLO. So LiquidTLO looking to really be sneaky, and yes, indeed, once it finishes up, we do have the Overseer for LiquidTLO. We do have the Nidus Worm burrowing over here. Torch does not have anything to spot this. He didn't put any picket marines or supply depots. Meanwhile, we have Torch looking to do a drop. What's going to happen here? Is he going to pull his units back? As we do see the roaches spewing out of this Nidus Worm, we do see Queen dropping down these cancerous tumors, and we do see a lot of units coming off of the mineral line for Torch, trying to soak up that damage. We do have siege tanks in here throwing a lot of damage on these roaches. Of course, these SCVs taking a lot of damage from that, as well as we did see the Thor and one tank go down. We do have a few Marines left, as LiquidTLO is backing up towards the Nidus Worm, trying to make stuff happen, trying to kill as many SCVs as he can before he has to back out, and we do see the SCVs trying to kill off this Nidus Worm. This one SCV really pissed off about it, and he didn't actually get the kill. But we do have one more roach going down to that, as the roaches are actually being... Where do they drop in there? Or they come through the front door? I believe they came in through the front door. Those were just rally roaches right there. So LiquidTLO making Torch pull units off of this mineral line. Didn't really kill that many SCVs, but that amount of time that he was in the base kept Torch from mining. So meanwhile, we have the ninja base for Torch in here, so not sure if TLO is going to scout that out. It's kind of a risky maneuver, because if he does scout it out, you pretty much have to sacrifice it. It's just really hard to defend. But how often do you actually see LiquidTLO go over there? You're not really going to see that, as we do have this one Hellion out in the middle of no man's land and is totally getting smacked around, as LiquidTLO looks to claim the middle ground. And Torch has this one Viking, but not choosing to actually persecute the Overlords that are in the area. Once again, dropping down some creep, bringing the Queens in here, going to be throwing down the creep tumors, going to solidify his, basically, his dominance. He's marking his territory. As a Zerg, you want to mark your territory, and that's exactly what he's doing here. So LiquidTLO keeping the creep tumors in the main base of Torch. Torch not having anything to do with that right now, is going to finally have a scan ready. Is he going to use it, though, as this Marauder is just barely going to be able to kill this creep tumor. And we do see LiquidTLO going for the gold expansion and bringing the